Hello everyone. So today we are going to continue on developing the user ID and password that we were doing in the last video. So in the last video we saw that we had a problem in our overall implementation of the user ID and password, and that was if both it would save the user ID and password separately, but if let's say a different username is applying a password for a different user, then it would still validate. That was because we were actually doing the validation something like this. So we were actually using this function definition that validate from CSV file field, and here you can see that the issue was like we are passing the username and password field and in a separate call. So let's say this call is validated and true, and this call would also be validated and true, then it will be passing. But whenever this file is called, it will select it, it will try to validate this string from starting of the file to the end of the file. So if a username exists anywhere in the file, then it will be validated, and if the password exists anywhere in the file, then it will also be validated. So that was the issue overall. So today we're going to fix this one. So first thing I'm going to do here is that once we actually have this user ID and password, I'm going to join these two and pass it to as a single string on this function, and we're going to modify this function also. Alright, so let's get started. So here I am having this username. Let me make it username password, and this in the field I'm going to pass both. And here we're going to define one more variable. Now remember guys that when we were actually having the username and password, so we were actually expecting the password to not contain any white space. So we can very well do that and have the username something like this. Anyway, and here once we actually have changed it, now we're going to change this function definition itself. Okay, so the way we were doing here is that whenever it get the string, and it will by default it will just simply start reading. So we will not gonna do that. We are gonna first split the string that we have. Okay, so I'm gonna import the regular expression file for this. Okay. Okay, so whenever we are having, so by default I'm not gonna evaluate the field hash. I'm gonna check that whether whatever passed in the field whether it's a user or whether it's both has been passed. So if field double equals to so for this should hold good. Okay, and I'm going to define an else condition here. And that's going to be for our new logic that we have. So if the field is both, then it should check both username and field at the same time. So I'm going to define our function field dash username, this variable, and it will be for the row of username, and then it's gonna be for the password also. Alright, so now we have the hash for username and password. All we need to give the verify function the string in which it will verify this. Okay, so for that string extraction, what we are gonna do, we are gonna take two variables and we are gonna pass it to the split function here of the regular expression. Now I want to get it split by the space here that we actually introduced, and this would check for the string. Alright, and all needed to be done here after this is that we need to just verify this one. So this we will verify both username and we will make the verify with password also. Okay, we'd like to give a space. Okay, so if both of them are verified, so all needed to be done is return the true, and we will be done with the modification. So let's test it out, and let's open the data.csv. Alright, so let me send this to the Python. I'm getting no compilation error, and first we're gonna add a new user here. Okay, so we have entered one user, and let me add another user here. Okay, so we have added two usernames, and what I'm gonna do is that I'll first try with this username and the other password, and then that username with this password, and let's see what happens. So this is this one. So first we will try to validate with the wrong one. Okay, so it is saying that it is not matching. In the previous attempt we were actually matching it, so this time I'm gonna try with the correct one. Okay, I think I mistyped something. Okay, still not matching. Okay, the max number has been reached, and let me do some debugging here. Okay, here it should show the username and string. This seems fine. Okay, so next I'm gonna suspect somewhere here might have been something wrong. Meanwhile, while we are debugging, we can insert the space. This is really annoying otherwise. Okay, so okay, I'm typing things correctly. The data file is also correct here. Okay guys, I'll do the debugging and probably post it here later. Thanks for watching for this video. Stay tuned for the next part to get this thing to a better shape. Bye bye.